Hey guys, my name is Kaushik and welcome back to Redcode. In our previous video, we have discussed how to use the expected condition in our test script. Today, we are going to continue with the same but for different scenario. In this Flipkart website, once we open this, we have to close this little login pop-up, and when I do the mouse over, it takes few milliseconds to load this card. Once the card is loaded, then I can go and click on any of the link like this, correct? But if I try to write that same in my script, it is actually going to fail. The reason is when I mouse on this particular electronics, the element, the card is taking few milliseconds to load or render on the UI. But our script is going to execute very fast, and in that scenario, of course, our test script is going to fail. To solve this, we are going to use the expected condition now. So here we have already the basic test script to load the URL and of course maximizing that, and then also we are clicking on that X button to close the login pop-up, and we are mouse hovering on this electronics button, and after that we are trying to click on the MI link. Now if I try to execute this, of course it's going to fail. Let me show you. And as expected, we can see that our test script got failed and it says that no element found using the link text mi. But we know that the link text is there and of course the element is present within my UI. So to handle this scenario, I'm going to use the expected condition. So first of all, we'll create the expected condition, and then I have to use browser dot wait, and within this I have to pass what is the expected condition. So here my condition is to wait until the element is going to be clickable. So here I'm going to use this function called element to be clickable, and within this of course I have to pass what is the element I have to wait. So here I'm going to say the mi. Then followed by of course I have to give the maximum time I'm going to wait. In this scenario I'm going to use just 5 seconds, but it is recommended to use a global time, and we can use that for each and every functions. Probably we will do that when we are going to create our own framework. And of course, I have to use the await in front of each and every line because of course we are using the async and await concept here. Now, if I try to execute this, of course, it should work now. Let us see. So the browser has loaded, the pop-up has closed, MI is also clicked, and of course we can see that now we have this MI page, right? So the understanding here is before each and every click, we have to wait for certain amount of time, and then if the elements is ready to be in the clickable state, then we have to do the click. Of course, I cannot write for each and every click action within my script. Rather, we will convert this into a functions and we will declare this in our framework. We'll see that maybe on the framework part. Now, let us also quickly understand another scenario. For example, once I load this particular MI phone, I can see that I have a title which that says MI mobile phones, then some text, right? So I'm going to check the title partially with the MI mobile. So here I'm going to say expect await browser dot get title, and to content is coming from your Jasmine, where we are going to specify the partial text. So here it's going to be my then followed by mobile. So here you can see that mi and mobile, right? Now let us try to run this. Actually it is going to fail. The mi click is happened. I mean the click on the mi element is happened. Also we are able to see that mi mobile phones, the expected title is there. But still, if we check our console, we can see that we have a failure. The reason is that title actually gets rendered after a few milliseconds, but our script is running very fast and it is not able to find the changes. That is the reason in Protector we have this expected condition, so we can wait until a condition is satisfied, then we can move or proceed further. So the failure here, we can see that the title what is expected is not the actual one. That is the reason we got this failure. So to fix this, of course, again, we have to go with the expected condition. And it's going to be very easy. Once I click on the MI element, I'm going to say await browser dot wait, and within this expected condition, now here my condition is I'm going to check for the title. So in that title, we have two functions. One is the title contents, which is going to check for the partial or the substring, and title is that is going to expect the whole title. So we are going to use the contents as of now, and within this, of course, I can pass this entire text, and of course, I have to pass the timeouts. Now, if this condition is going to get satisfied, then this line is going to execute, or else we know that this one is going to throw us timeout exception. Let us try to run this and let's see the result as well. And here we can see that our test script got passed now because of course we have wait until the expected conditions match, that is the title, and after that we are trying to do the assert. Let's take a quick recap. We have created an object for the expected condition, and using the object we are waiting for an element to be clickable, and also we are specifying the timeouts. Similarly, for the title we have a function called title contents or the title is. If you are interested to test the URL, then also we have the function called URL contains or the URL is. Probably we will take some another examples in the next video. If you like the video, consider giving a like, and if you are new to the channel, kindly do the subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one very soon.